The future is looking green in this timeline. Oh, shit. Was that racist? What's up, everybody? StevDeS here. The future Trunks timeline is pretty interesting, isn't it? Most of the characters died, Goku can't be brought back to life, and everything generally sucks. Even the prodigy children Trunks and Gohan, the kids of both Goku and Vegeta, two of the most ruthless Saiyan warriors left in existence, are not enough to handle the androids. It is a bleak future indeed. In fact, when Trunks finally masters Super Saiyan, it takes the death of his best friend to do it. Yeah, we sympathized with this kid during that special. His only hope is to return to the past where Goku is still alive and deliver the heart medicine that will save his life. This was the only way that Trunks could save his future, in fact his timeline, from certain destruction. For this timeline, we're going to be looking into a little change suggested by the Anime Noob on one of my previous videos. He said, and I quote, "Question, could you possibly do what if future Piccolo survived?" And to that, I have to say, why not? Honestly, future Trunks' timeline is something that a lot of people don't tend to alter very much. What that guy did in his video, and I looked down because link in the description, he kind of addressed it, but I don't know if he addressed it in the way that I did. I will hold my hand up here and say that I am sorry I did not watch past 2.5 minutes. So I don't know what this what if has in store. So if there's anything similar, anything at all, it is purely coincidental. He and I must agree on some things, must disagree on some things. So therefore, this is an original thought. I normally like to give credit where credit is due if a what if has been done before. This one has been done before, but as I said, didn't watch enough, so link in the description, go give him some love. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into what if future Piccolo survived. As far as what we get in the future Trunks special, Piccolo's the first to bite the dust, meaning we are taking away the very first death. For this timeline, I would, however, keep the second death just fine. We are, of course, going to have Vegeta first, and every consequential death after that stays the same. Instead, Vegeta's far more hot-headed, and he gets there before the Namekian bites the dust, allowing him to escape. That part addressed. And so, for years to come, there's only really two Z fighters, Piccolo and Gohan. This changes Gohan's character drastically. He's not the last living Z fighter. He has not lost Mr. Piccolo. He has not lost anyone really important besides his dad dying from the heart virus and Krillin. So he's a little less strong than his future counterpart from the original timeline. However, he and Piccolo do train often and do address that he is a Saiyan, so he should, be in the battles whenever he can, eventually leading up to the Super Saiyan transformation. Piccolo thinks this is great. They can abuse Gohan's Zenkai boost until finally he's strong enough to take out these androids, and then they can wish everyone back. They don't want to make a wish on the dragon before everyone's ready to come back and before the androids are taken care of because, well, then they just die again and no dragon can fix that one. They think if they just play their cards right and power Gohan up, Gohan can handle it. They've thought this through. However, there does come the day where there is a slip up, and unfortunately, Gohan bites the dust. Reminiscent of the Saiyan saga, Gohan ends up covering Piccolo when both androids shoot a vicious blast to finally wipe the Namekian off the face of the earth. And he takes it. Why does Gohan cover Piccolo? Because they plan to use the Dragon Balls and he knows the connection between him and Kami. So if they can't use the Dragon Balls, there's a problem. So, reminiscent of the Saiyan saga, Gohan dies for Piccolo, just as Piccolo died for Gohan all those years ago. Piccolo is absolutely shocked from this, and before he can even think, he gets his own minor rage boost, but it's more along the lines of focusing his power into one nasty wave and then getting out of there. He fires a demon-destructive wave, the likes that he has never done before, and that's enough to just repel the androids. As long as they get away and Piccolo gets away, they're fine. Unfortunately, he won't be able to escape Chi-Chi's wrath, because someone's gotta tell the news. Might as well be the guy that trained the kid. While Chi-Chi is angry and more than angry, destroyed by this news, he does vow that he will avenge Gohan. And he reassures her that this isn't over because they still have the Dragon Balls. So once the androids are gone, she will see her son again. This puts Piccolo on a time clock. He doesn't know what to do, but he knows someone who might know what to do. Kami tells Piccolo that he must use the Dragon Balls to return to a time where instead the androids were not around and Goku was alive. He can save Goku's life, or at the very least help everyone get even stronger so that they can handle it in their time. That way the future will be fixed. However, Piccolo does know about Bulma and her time machine that she's working on. Currently it's blueprints, but Earth has that covered, and he informs Kami of this. Kami then ponders for a moment and says, okay, then we should use the Dragon Balls to go back to Namek in order to get a new Guardian. Piccolo thinks about this for a second, and then he gets a smirk on his face.
It's about time Earth's God did something about this.
It is traveling from one prison to the next, Piccolo. However, once I'm gone, the Dragon Balls will cease to exist.
Then let's do this our way. There's no sense in wasting Namek's time.
This is where their argument starts up. However, they do have a preemptive wish that will occur. So, they do summon the dragon for one last time. After Shenron is indeed summoned, they tell Shenron that he's going to be sleeping for a long time, as the Namekians are going to fuse after this. Kami then speaks the wish that they both came up with. At the time that 17 and 18 are no more on this Earth, we wish for the Z-Fighters that have been destroyed now to be brought back to life. Unfortunately, the dragon can't do this. He has to make wishes here and now. His magic cannot linger. His magic is only around as long as the Dragon Balls are active. And once they become unactive, there's no way out of that one. Piccolo and Kami then state that they wish for Shenron to reveal the way that Earth will be saved. And sure enough, he reveals Super Saiyan Trunks, a little bit older, and wielding a sword, sure, but he's clearly stronger. And clearly, he's owning those androids. Even this bug monster they have no idea is standing up to Super Saiyan, sure, but Trunks just pumps up a little more and sure enough, all the androids die at Trunks' hand. This is a revelation for the Namekians, and they are ready to take this plan into high gear, knowing they do have a timeline here. With this information revealed, Piccolo and Kami look at each other, nod, and head on to Earth after fusing together and making Kamikolo. After the wish and knowing what they need to do, Piccolo heads off to Capsule Corp and states that Trunks needs to train, as well as telling Trunks and Bulma the bad news about what happened to Gohan. Which just confirms Shenron's story, because Trunks gets angry and really angry. He gets pretty angry. He powers up and he is pissed. Almost going Super Saiyan, but not quite. His hair goes up, it gets the aura, but then runs out of power. Clearly, this kid does have the gift that Shenron said, but how can we make him older? Piccolo then goes up to Bulma and says Trunks may be our only hope, and without Gohan, he can't do it alone. Bulma, however, she's not having any of it. She says that Gohan's dead now and Gohan was your student. You're not about to train her son in order to be a Super Saiyan and start fighting just so he can die too. Why can't you just use the Dragon Balls, get everybody together, and just train? You know, just train. Just go somewhere off planet, let the human race dwindle to a handful, I'll survive as much as I can and build my time machine, and you all can just come back when you're ready. But Piccolo is very strong in this regard. He is not taking this lightly. And he just steps up to Bulma, still calm, but a serious stare on his face.
First off, I fused with Kami. The Dragon Balls are no more. Secondly, if I die, then that means Trunks is going to have to learn how to defend himself. And you. And third.
Then he starts walking closer to Bulma, threateningly, looking her in the eye.
I wasn't asking.
Bulma just snaps back. If this girl ain't afraid of the God of Destruction, she ain't gonna be afraid of Piccolo. She tells Piccolo if Trunks ends up hurt or dead, then he's going to wish they still had Dragon Balls.
Hold on, StevDeS, back up. Why wouldn't Trunks have had training before this?
Well, what an excellent question, potential viewer.
What about Piccolo and Gohan wanting Trunks to fight with them?
Oh, again, another very good question, potential viewer. Let's go ahead and answer that. So, the reasons I feel that Trunks wouldn't have had training before this. Let's go. Number 1, plot convenience. I mean, was there anything else? 2, this timeline's Gohan. This timeline's Gohan has a lot of confidence in himself and Mr. Piccolo. So, naturally, he wouldn't be as inclined to include Trunks. One of the reasons why Gohan, well, future Gohan, included Trunks in training and trying to get him to be a Super Saiyan was for when maybe he died. That way there's still a savior. Plus, this Gohan remembers the pain of losing his father, and Trunks lost his father after he went off with Mr. Piccolo in order to, try to save people, try to defeat the androids. I think it's safe to say that he would not want Trunks as part of this training because he wants Trunks to be at home with his family. With him and Mr. Piccolo, as long as they played their cards right, they'd be okay. Didn't really work out, huh, Mr. Gohan? Piccolo would have been more than happy to train the kid. However, Piccolo does respect Gohan's wishes and decides against it while Gohan's around. With that little inkling from the dragon, he hopes that Gohan forgives him, but this has to happen for the good of everyone. After a while of training, the Super World theme park incident does take place. And Piccolo and Trunks have been training a lot. Trunks in his Super Saiyan form actually being a challenge. And keep in mind, by this point, they didn't need the hyperbolic time chamber. Because they knew about it, Piccolo figured he might be ready. He's about as strong as Gohan. Let's take him out there and see what he can do to these buckets of bolts. Unfortunately for Piccolo, it happens about the same. While he is Kamikolo and he is more powerful than the regular timeline Kamikolo, he's still teamed up on, and Trunks still doesn't have as much battle experience as Gohan does. So things happen like they do in the special. Piccolo loses an arm, grows it back, and takes Trunks back home. Wounded, but because Kamikolo is more powerful than a Super Saiyan, I think Piccolo's got enough stamina to get back to Capsule Corp. Unfortunately, without Trunks helping her, this is taking Bulma longer to work on the time machine, and she is not happy that she's doing this extra work. She needs Trunks around. They need to make this fast enough so that they can revive everyone. She makes this complaint very clear to Piccolo, who decides if there's a way to do both, this is that way. To respect Gohan's wishes, he decides to tell her that whenever he has free time, whenever Trunks has free time, he needs to be training with Piccolo. Trunks is the hero of the future, as foretold by the dragon during its last wish. Bulma agrees, and Trunks starts getting more of a hold of his Super Saiyan ability. Since Piccolo's way more brutal than Gohan, he's able to abuse the Zenkai boost far easier. Piccolo wouldn't have handed him the towel after that whirlpool incident. He has absolutely no qualms with abusing the boy's emotions. However, they do decide to play it safe. After that run at Super World, they haven't really fought the androids very much, and they've been working on getting Trunks' martial arts skills up and going. When the time machine is almost complete, they get word that the nearby city of Bridgetown is being attacked. Trunks hates being useless, and he's been useless for long enough. He's ready to go out and do his thing just like his arrogant father would have. However, Piccolo stops him and says, if you want to go throw your life away, you're going to have to go through me. I didn't do that in the Piccolo voice. Let me do that in the Piccolo voice.
If you want to throw your life away, then you're going to have to go through me.
Sure enough, we get the two fighting, and Piccolo makes a point to reduce Trunks to the ground. He's still more powerful than a Super Saiyan at this point, and only Grade 2 has been unlocked for Trunks. It's not until Grade 3 and Full Power Super Saiyan that Piccolo is outmatched. In the middle of the fight, though, Piccolo is surprised that Trunks is putting that much energy out. He's clearly been holding back, and this anger spat against Piccolo allowed him to see that there's definitely potential in this child. Even if this is post-apocalyptic future, he still acts like a child. Just like his father. After he recovers from the brutal beatdown and Piccolo's ears recover from the brutal yelling that Bulma had to do, they get into the time machine and take off to the future. Piccolo just sitting in the corner, meditating, doing a waiting thing, you know, that sort of thing he does. As they head to the future, Trunks gives Piccolo a cowl, you know, something to put over his head so that he's not immediately recognized by his past self. All the while, Piccolo deciding to remind him that Namekians have sensitive ears, so he's gonna have to take the conversation with Goku kind of far away so that his younger self has no idea what's going on. As the duo heads to the past, this is where we close on part 1. So what do you all think? Might future Piccolo actually change things for the better? Might the present cast of characters be changed due to the inclusion of future Piccolo? Leave your comment below. And for more what-ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, like if our favorite Prince of all Saiyans was actually female, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to be updated for future videos. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!
Oh my, it's awfully lonely up here.